The hair is wet because I'm getting ready, and that means it is time for a foundation wear test. I was, for no reason, very excited about this, and I think a number of you were as well. Laura Mercier just dropped a new foundation, and this is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I have a special place in my heart for Laura Mercier. I feel like they create really great, underrated products, and it's been a while since I picked up a new foundation for them, and when reading the description for this foundation, it sounded right up my alley. Before we get into it, my skin type, I have normal to dry skin, leaning a little bit, I want to say, kind of dryish today. I don't have dry skin every single day. If I have the proper skincare routine, things are all good in terms of hydration on my skin, but we're more dry. I do live in a humid climate of Florida. Also keep in mind my climate. But let's go ahead and get into this. I ordered this off of Sephora. It looks like it is available in a few Sephoras in my area, so you might be able to head out to your store to pick it up, or I'll have the links down below to purchase if you want to online. So this is called the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. It is $48. Here's what the box looks like that it comes in. It's the Laura Mercier box. I picked up the shade 2N1 Cashew. So we'll see how this works for me. The foundation is made in Italy, which is a good sign. They normally have some very nice products that come out of Italy, and there's a 12-month shelf life. You'll see some of the details of the foundation here. So the major claims, it's a medium coverage with a natural finish that is right up my alley. It's supposed to feel very weightless on the skin and blur the line between makeup and skin with medium buildable coverage, waterproof wear, and up to 12 hours of fade-proof wear. It also is supposed to blur the look of imperfections, pores, and fine lines while improving skin tone and texture over time, which is interesting. Now the shade range, hot garbage. I mean, you can see that for yourself, so hopefully they'll expand on that. But let's look at the packaging. So gorgeous packaging, you guys. It is a frosted glass bottle, this beautiful cap. I just think this looks so luxe. I love the simplicity of the wording on the foundation. It makes it look really expensive. Just compare it to this foundation, right? Which one looks more luxe? Definitely this one. And then one whole fluid ounce, so that's really common. All right, let's see. I really don't have many expectations going into this. I just want to see how it is. It's honestly been a while since I've worn the Flawless Lumiere Radiant foundation, so I don't know how different these are going to be. I just kind of want to try this by itself. So it does come with a pump, which obviously is an expectation nowadays. Take a look at the consistency here. Not too liquidy. Oh, it feels really weightless on the skin. I don't have any primer on. I probably should have put primer on, but I just did my skincare, so my skin is nice and hydrated. Oh my gosh. This is so thin. Huh. It feels super weightless. It's a very interesting texture. One like I've never felt before on foundation. It almost feels like slick, like silicone or silk on the face. I'm going to use an IT Cosmetics number 7 brush, and I'm just going to pat it in. I would say it does not have medium coverage whatsoever. I'll try and build upon this, but this is a lighter coverage product. So what do we think up close? I feel like it looks kind of dry, right? In this area right here and up here. That looks dry. And it looks like it's catching on to some dryness right here. Huh. Interesting. Let me actually use some of this Sephora Collection Hydrating Primer on the other side of my face to see if that changes anything. Maybe I do need to really hydrate, but in my most recent Gucci foundation review, I said I didn't like the older one because it was so thin, and sometimes the thinner the foundation, the more likely it is to kind of catch onto the hairs and the drier areas of the face. I worry that that is what is happening here. I'm going to change up the method of application here, but let's let this primer set in. to add some extra hydration. Very, very odd. Because the last thing I applied on my face before the foundation was my Tula sunscreen. So maybe it's acting weird with the sunscreen. I want to add an extra layer in between that. Let's start off with some fresh pumps. We'll do 1 pump to see how far that gets me. I just don't see it getting me very far. And it's so crazy how thin it blends out and it feels so smooth applying. I actually quite like it. This might be a product that applies really nicely with the fingers. See, that did most of the work. And then taking my Rephr foundation sponge and pushing it in. It's not one of those foundations where a little goes a long way. I definitely feel like I need to layer on some more product. When I did a really thin layer like this and use the sponge, my skin looks a lot more healthier and skin-like. So I think this is a foundation that likes a sponge application. I want to build up on some coverage. It's a little finicky, this foundation is. I just did an additional pump. And I'm going to use my Rephr Beauty Sponge. And we are going to blend this out. I don't want to over layer because I really want to see this foundation in its truest form. Okay, sponge application, so much better. I feel like the brush side made my face look much more dry. This looks way more skin-like, so I do suggest using a sponge of some sort. I want to apply just a little bit more on this side and also try and press it in with the sponge to see if we can improve how it's looking. It's just crazy to me how thin this is on the face. So I definitely wanted to build it and do a couple layers because it is a medium buildable coverage foundation, supposedly. But you can definitely get super light coverage with this as well. Oh, the sponge is so much better than that initial brush application. My skin looks much, much more hydrated. Now, I would say it's not perfect. On this side of my face, it is kind of attaching to the dryness here, which is something that I've been struggling with in general with my skin. So this has been shown with other products. But there are some products that will completely go over this area and look really smooth. This is not one of them. So I would say proper skin prep is necessary if you have dry skin. The coverage is a little bit more buildable. I would say it definitely stops at a medium coverage, but I had a little extra layer here. There's just more product on the side of the face, and there is a little bit more coverage. But the actual finish itself, it is a natural finish. It actually looks quite skin-like. It's not the most blurring foundation. I can see the textural issues that I had prior. I think it made my pores look a little better though, which is interesting. My pores actually look kind of nice. They aren't completely gone, but this made them look a little less visible. So there is some blurring. Okay, so that brush application was horrendous. Really, really bad. This foundation needs a little bit of moisture from the sponge to kind of push it into the skin to get that weightless, flawless look that the foundation claims to have. So let me go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. We'll do a speed through, but okay, I like it. It was starting off really bad there, but the sponge literally came and saved the day. And if you are a color match with me, 2N1 Cashew is a near perfect color match for me. So maybe a little bit light for summer tan, but I don't get out much. Okay, let's get the rest of the makeup on. Alright, makeup is all done. I'll have everything that I'm wearing down below. Here is the close-up. Overall, my skin right now looks really nice. One thing I like about the foundation is how lightweight it feels. It is a little drier in the areas that I applied my Pat McGrath powder, so we'll see if a little bit more of the natural finish comes through. I don't have any blush on because Haus Labs blushes are launching today, so I'm gonna head out and grab those. But I think the foundation looks really nice so far. I feel like it does have a tendency to look dry, so make sure, 1, you hydrate if you have dry skin, and 2, if you have little hairs on your face, do yourself a favor and shave them off, because I feel like this foundation is grabbing a little bit onto those hairs. But overall, taking a step back, I really like the way that this foundation is looking. It is just barely, not even a medium coverage. I would say it's light and buildable to the lighter side of medium, but it has kind of a blurring finish to it, which is really nice. But also with the blurring finish, there's also a little bit of dryness that I can emphasize. But in terms of pores and stuff, it makes the skin look smoother. So I'm liking it. I'm gonna take you over to my phone so you can see in that lighting and camera how it looks. But so far, I think I like it. I think it's good. We'll see with wear time. Then here it is in front of a window on my phone. So here I feel like with this camera you can really see the true texture of the foundation. See, it's just a little bit dry looking here, but I feel like after I go out and live my life and some time has passed, that then the foundation might look a little less dry. But I do like how lightweight it looks and feels. The name is the Weightless foundation. It's definitely weightless. Okay, I'll catch up with you guys in a few hours. I'm doing an update a little earlier than normal, but I actually got my butt out of the house today and I was out walking and sweating, and I wanted to show you how the foundation's been wearing. So I think it's been like 3.5-ish hours, which is good enough. And I think the foundation looks really great, especially being out in the humidity and heat. I did sweat a little bit, and when I touched my face, I felt like some of the product ended up on my fingers, but you can't tell any wear down from this sweating on my face. And I do have the Haus Labs blushes on my cheeks right now. They look really, really good, by the way. I do have the review up for that already. Fine lineage here in the smile lines. It's not really sinking in quite so much yet. I mean, it's kind of inevitable, but so far I think it looks good. It definitely has more of a natural finish now that I walked and sweat a little bit. The areas that I thought looked a little dry don't look as dry now. So I'd argue that this foundation even looks better than it did when I first applied it. Especially the forehead is looking really, really nice. I like it. And by the way, I know my blush application is heavy. That was on purpose for my blush review, but it's looking so far so good. So get the last look. I will check in a few more hours. I have officially hit the 8-hour mark, and here is how the foundation is looking. Honestly, it's wearing really well today, and I've spent time outside. I've had a lot of movement, a little bit of perspiration. It's maybe getting a little oily right in here, but it's looking good. Alright guys, so I have to say, it is, 8 o'clock, so I've been wearing the foundation for like 10 hours now. My makeup for 10 hours later looks amazing, especially since I was out and about today, out in the Florida humidity. It looks so good. 10 hours later, I'm very impressed. It did go a little bit into my smile lines, but nothing crazy, especially again 10 hours later. And I can see it getting a little dry like in the outer parts of my face, but that's only super close with a very zoomed in HD camera. That's where I'm noticing it. Not as smooth looking here, but overall I did not do a single touch up. My makeup looks amazing for 10 hours later. Now, I'm not saying, you know, it looks as good as it did when I applied it, but you couldn't tell me that this was 10 hours later. So far this is only a first impression. I'm going to continue to wear this, test it with other products, do different things, see how it does. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will feature an updated review on this in a speed reviews video. But for now, first impressions, I really, really like this. I know a couple days ago I tested the Gucci foundation. Obviously, I still need to test that some more, but I think this one has worn better than the Gucci foundation. So overall, I like this foundation. I think it's really nice. I need to wear the Gucci foundation again, but I think I like this one more than the Gucci foundation. It definitely was one that looked a little better with time because it did start off looking a little bit dry. It definitely needs the sponge application to keep the hydration, but it feels really lightweight. I think it looks really lightweight, and I'm very happy with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.